Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting episode of LT's Laser Lancer Review. Today we'll be covering the Russian Revolution. Let's jump right into it. So, the Russian Revolution has lots of parts to it. Please, please, please do not let this video be the only thing you do to study for the Russian Revolution. There are readings on Schoology. Please make sure you check those out. So, the road to revolution. How did the Russian Empire fall? So let's start with a few factors. The Russian monarchy had very, very poor leadership and events that led to the fall of the monarchy. It is very, very similar to the causes of the French Revolution. The differences you need to know are what certain things are called. There are similar generic themes, but you need to know the details. So, the monarch at this time is Tsar Nicholas II. That is this man right here. He is going to rule from 1894 to 1917. When he was elected, or not elected, when he was appointed monarch, he said, "I'm not fit for this job." He never really wanted to be a monarch, but he ruled as an absolute leader, meaning what he said was the way it went. He didn't listen to anyone else. As we saw in the French Revolution, that wasn't a good time for Louis XVI because it led to his execution. So, some other events. All before the revolution. The revolution is not going to start till 1917, but these are events that are going to build to the revolution. The Russo-Japanese War is going to be huge because it's the first time in modern history where we see an Eastern, so an Asian nation, beating a Westernish nation. Russia's in that middle ground. Japan wins. Little island Japan beats mighty Russia. It showed how weak Russia and the Tsar were. And then in 1905, Bloody Sunday is going to be when unarmed protesters are going to be fired on by Imperial Guards because they're protesting the Tsar. That's going to make the Tsar look bad. So that's going to be slowly building up. And then there will be a failed attempt at revolution in Russia. And then fast forward to 1914, World War I will happen. There's going to be high casualties because of that on the home front. On the war front. There's going to be food shortages at the home front, and there's going to be strikes in St. Petersburg. World War I is going to be the final straw to lead to revolution. All of these events are going to lead to the Tsar stepping down. It's going to lead to provisional government, which took over, which is going to be weak, revolution, and then Nicholas II and his bloodline, this whole picture, will be killed. More on that in a minute. So those are some causes itself. And then food shortages. That means people are hungry, high casualties. People don't like being killed in wars. You just got to think that the lower class was upset and had unequal rights, just like the French Revolution. So, the revolution itself. If you see the Bolshevik Revolution, it means the same thing as the Russian Revolution. Bolshevik and communist, same thing. So, Vladimir Lenin is going to be the leader of all this. That's this man right here. Him and the Bolsheviks, they are going to be the ones that start the revolution. And a very famous saying of his was he promised the people peace, so out of World War I, land. They were going to take land from the higher class and nobility and redistribute it to the peasants, and bread. People were starving. So you're out of the war, you have a piece of land, and you have some food. Sounds great. And then we're going to see the first form of Soviets pop up. Those are going to be the councils of workers, soldiers, and peasants. They're going to form in major cities. And the actual actions of the Bolsheviks and the effects of the revolution are going to be they're going to redistribute the land to peasants. Of March of 1918, the revolutionary government is going to have a peace with Germany, get out of the war, and they're going to be renamed the Communist Party. So the Russian Revolution is going to go from 1917 to the early 1920s because there's going to be a civil war within Russia. It's going to be a very violent and bloody time. Again, like I've always said, do not let this video be the only thing you study from. This is just very, very basic. It's going to be the Reds, so the communists versus the whites. The Tsar and his family will be executed, and the Reds are going to win. The communists are going to win, and they're going to rename themselves the Union of Soviet Socialist Republic, USSR, the Soviet Union for short, or USSR short. And within that, remember, when it comes to events, The most important parts are the causes and the effects. What actual happened is important too, but really for the written exam, make sure you know causes and effects. So you know the causes. These are some effects, but other long-term effects are going to be Vladimir Lenin is going to rule the Soviet Union. He is going to start the new economic policy, which is the NEP. Make sure after you're done watching this video, you look up the NEP. Another effect of the Russian Revolution is after Lenin has a stroke and passes away, he's going to say, don't let Joseph Stalin become in charge of the country. So naturally, Joseph Stalin becomes in charge of the country. You need to research Joseph Stalin and know what he did to Russia, collectivization, and his new economic plan and all of that. You need to make sure you look up Joseph Stalin. So that was a very quick version of the causes of the Russian Revolution and then some effects as well too. Again, if you know the French Revolution, you know the Russian Revolution at its basic causes, but you have to know the details that you got from this video, but as well as you need to research on your own. So, like always, this is not the end of the video. We have to go to our fun fact. So, fun fact, koala bear sleeps 22 hours a day. Just like some research students, am I right? Just kidding. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, as always, I've been LT, and we will see you next time.